The Productivity Lie, How I Stopped Working and 3x My Income, The Mental Virus Destroying Your Life, and How to Delete It. Your brain has been hacked, and you don't even know it. Right now, as you're watching this, there's a malicious program running in your subconscious that's convinced you that your worth as a human being depends on how busy you look. This productivity virus has infected 87% of Americans and is quietly destroying lives while making corporations billions. But today, you're getting the antidote. The hustle culture operating system installed a program in your mind called Never Enough. This malware runs 24/7, burning through your mental RAM, generating chronic anxiety, and creating the illusion of progress while you're actually spinning your wheels. Your brain's processor is maxed out, running unnecessary background tasks while the applications that actually matter to your happiness crash in the background. Here's what the self-help industrial complex doesn't want you to discover. They're not selling you solutions. They're selling you updates to the same virus that's already destroying your life. Every productivity hack, every morning routine, every optimization strategy is just another way to squeeze more output from a system that's already running beyond capacity. It's like trying to run the latest video game on a computer from 2010. Eventually, something's gonna break. The multi-billion-dollar productivity industry profits from keeping you perpetually dissatisfied with your current performance. They need you to believe that you're always one hack away from finally making it. But here's the brutal truth. You're not broken, and you don't need fixing. You need debugging. You need to identify and remove the malicious code that's been installed without your consent. Real productivity isn't about cramming more tasks into your day. It's about resource allocation. It's about running fewer programs simultaneously so each one can operate at peak performance. When you focus 100% of your processing power on one critical task, you generate exponentially more value than splitting your attention across 10 mediocre ones. That feeling of being constantly behind, constantly inadequate, constantly racing against time, that's not a personal failing. That's a feature of the system designed to keep you producing without questioning. When you're too exhausted to think critically, too busy to reflect deeply, and too stressed to connect authentically, you become the perfect user for a system that profits from your perpetual dissatisfaction. Your first mission in this mental jailbreak is implementing what I call the single thread protocol. Every morning, before you boot up your daily routine, you're going to identify one high-impact process that deserves your complete attention. Not a to-do list. One mission-critical function that, when executed with precision, creates maximum leverage in your life. Write this intention down. Every time your mind tries to spawn additional background processes, you'll redirect all resources back to your primary function. This protocol reprograms your neural pathways from chaotic multitasking mode to laser-focused execution mode. You'll discover that completing one important thing generates infinitely more satisfaction than starting 10 irrelevant ones. This isn't about becoming lazy or unambitious. This is about becoming efficient in the truest sense, generating maximum impact with minimum energy expenditure. It's about working with your brain's architecture instead of against it. Drop protocol activated in the comments if you're ready to execute this mental reprogramming. Hit that save button so you don't lose this code, and smash the notification bell, because we're just getting started with your complete system overhaul. Why saying no actually makes you rich. Alert. Multiple unauthorized access attempts detected on your personal server. External requests are consuming your bandwidth, overloading your emotional CPU, and causing frequent system crashes. Time to install the most powerful security protocol known to human psychology, the strategic deployment of no with surgical precision. Your current settings are configured to automatically accept all incoming requests. New project at work? Accepted. Friends favor on the weekend? Accepted. Social obligation that drains your soul? Accepted. This default configuration is killing your performance because you're trying to run more applications than your mental architecture can handle without constant freezing and crashes. American culture programmed you to believe that saying yes to everything makes you valuable, essential, or replaceable. But this is the ultimate trap. When you accept everything, you become a slave to other people's priorities. Your calendar becomes a public server where anyone can install their own programs and consume your resources without permission. The word "no" is your administrator password. It's your way of declaring, "This process is not authorized to run on my system." Every time you decline a request that doesn't align with your core objectives, you free up processing power to execute your own priority functions. You stop being a public utility and return to being a high-performance machine optimized for your own purposes. The anxiety you feel about disappointing others is social malware installed during childhood. You were taught that external approval is more important than internal system stability. But any operating system that requires constant validation from other users is fundamentally unstable and vulnerable to frequent crashes. Digital autonomy begins when you become the sole administrator of your own live server. When you install strict filters that block toxic requests and only allow processes that add genuine value to your personal operating system. This isn't about being selfish, it's about being strategic with your finite resources. Here's your practical implementation. The 7-day Firewall Challenge. For the next week, you're going to consciously decline one external request per day. Could be an unnecessary meeting, a project that doesn't move your needle, or a favor that would consume energy without reciprocal benefit. Monitor how your system responds. Track your stress levels, mental clarity, and available energy for mission-critical processes. You'll discover something revolutionary. The world doesn't collapse when you prioritize your own resource management. In fact, when you operate at peak efficiency, you become exponentially more valuable to the people and projects that actually matter to your core mission. This firewall isn't about isolation, it's about optimization. When you protect your bandwidth from spam requests, you have more capacity to deliver exceptional value where it counts. You transform from a scattered, overcommitted liability into a focused, reliable asset. The people who truly matter in your life will respect your boundaries. The ones who don't were probably exploiting your resources anyway. Your firewall will automatically sort your relationships into two categories: genuine connections and energy vampires. Comment "Firewall installed" if you're ready to protect your mental resources like the valuable assets they are. Share this with someone who also needs to learn the power of strategic rejection, and keep those notifications active because we're about to dive deeper into advanced system optimization. Billionaire Secret: the art of strategic laziness. Your mental hard drive is 97% full of junk files, applications you never use, processes running in the background you forgot about, cached data from experiences that no longer serve your current version. It's time to run a deep system clean and optimize your life to execute only what genuinely matters. Modern life forces you to install thousands of mental applications, social media algorithms, news cycles, other people's drama, problems that aren't yours, commitments you never consciously chose, responsibilities you inherited by default. Each of these processes consumes emotional RAM and mental processing power, leaving minimal resources for the programs that actually define who you're becoming. Think of your life as a high-end smartphone. You could install every app in the store, but your device would become sluggish, battery would drain constantly, and critical functions would lag. The smart user curates their digital ecosystem ruthlessly, keeping only applications that serve their primary objectives. Your mission is identifying which elements of your life are essential apps versus resource-draining bloatware. The system programs you to accumulate experiences without discrimination. More connections, more activities, more commitments, more options. But a processor running at capacity operates at reduced speed. A clean, optimized system executes fewer tasks, but with infinitely superior performance. Quality dominates quantity in every aspect of human experience. One deep conversation generates more value than 100 superficial interactions. 1 hour of focused work produces more impact than 8 hours of fragmented multitasking. 1 moment of complete presence creates more satisfaction than days of mindless autopilot consumption. The optimization protocol that will transform your personal operating system is the essential registry. Every night before shutdown, you'll document 3 elements that genuinely added value to your existence. Could be a meaningful insight, Authentic human connection, a moment of peace, a personal breakthrough, anything that actually nourished your core self rather than just filling time. This registry trains your internal algorithm to recognize patterns of genuine value. Over time, you develop the ability to instantly identify what deserves your resources versus what's just spam disguised as opportunity. Your decision-making becomes automatic because you're operating from clear data about what actually improves your life experience. Most people live reactively, responding to whatever demands the loudest attention. But when you implement the essential registry, you start living strategically, investing your finite resources only in processes that compound your growth and satisfaction over time. This isn't about becoming rigid or joyless. It's about becoming intentional. When you know what truly matters to you, you can engage more deeply with those elements while confidently dismissing the noise. Your life becomes a curated experience rather than a chaotic collection of random events. Running this protocol for 30 days will completely reconfigure your priority algorithms. You'll stop reacting automatically to external stimuli and start responding consciously based on your internal value system. The transformation is profound, from scattered reactivity to focused intentionality. Comment, system optimized, if you're ready to execute this deep cleanup of your life's operating system. Save this video to your optimization library and hit that bell icon for regular updates to your personal development framework. How to live on your own clock while everyone else burns out. Time to disconnect from the global network and establish your own private server. You've discovered you were running third-party software, accepting unauthorized connections, and executing processes you never chose. Now, you're ready to achieve complete autonomy and operate according to your own internal architecture. The fatal error 99% of people make is trying to run their lives at the same frequency as everyone else, as if there's some universal standard processing speed for human consciousness. But every system has its own optimal configuration. Some processors thrive at high velocity, others excel in efficiency mode. Some systems need extended processing time. Others operate best with rapid-fire decisions. Forcing your mind to operate at someone else's speed is like overclocking a processor. You might achieve temporarily superior performance, but the system overheats, components wear out prematurely, and eventually you experience complete system failure. Burnout is literally your personal operating system entering safe mode to prevent permanent damage. True autonomy means discovering your natural cycles and honoring them completely, identifying your peak performance windows and your necessary maintenance periods, recognizing when you need deep focus processing versus when you need to run automatic cleanup routines. The external world will constantly attempt to synchronize you with its accelerated rhythm. Unnecessary meetings, artificial deadlines, manufactured urgency, social pressure to be perpetually available and productive. But a truly optimized system operates according to its own internal logic, not random external demands. Implementing complete autonomy requires courage to disappoint external expectations in favor of internal integrity. It means choosing actual effectiveness over performative activity. It means honoring your own energy cycles instead of maintaining artificial constant velocity. American work culture especially pushes this always-on mentality. But the most successful people in any field, whether it's tech, entertainment, sports, or business, all have one thing in common. They've figured out their personal rhythm, and they protect it fiercely. They understand that sustainable peak performance requires strategic recovery periods. Your final deprogramming mission is the personal rhythm audit. For 7 consecutive days, you'll monitor your energy, focus, and creativity levels throughout different time periods. Document when you feel most productive, when you need breaks, when your mind is most receptive to learning, when your body demands movement or rest. This mapping reveals your personal algorithm for optimal functioning. With this data, you can completely restructure your schedule to work with your nature instead of against it. The result is maximum performance with minimum effort, because you're operating in harmony with your own system specifications. After this complete deprogramming process, you won't be just another terminal connected to the network of social expectations. You'll be your own server, running your own protocols, processing your own priorities, generating your own results according to your own definition of success. This is how you hack the game of life. Not by playing harder, but by playing by your own rules. Not by running faster, but by running smarter. Not by doing more, but by doing what actually matters to the person you're becoming. Comment independent server if you've completed this total deprogramming journey. Share this code with others who need to hack their own lives, and stay connected to the channel for regular updates to your newly liberated personal operating system.